So level 3 probability, this is a little bit more challenging than the previous ones, but I don't think they're that difficult in general. It's more, these questions, if you understand what the question is saying, it should make it a bit easier for you. So let's have a look. So I have 5 books, and I put them on the shelf randomly. Okay, so it's 5 books. Imagine I close my eyes and I pick up a book at random and put it in, then a second one, a third one, a fourth one, and a fifth one, right? What is the probability that I'll put them in alphabetical order? What's the probability? Well, let's see. So remember, the probability is equal to favourable all over total outcomes. Okay? So, I put the books in. The only way I win is if they're in alphabetical order. If they're not in alphabetical order, I don't win. So that means that there's only one way I can win, is by putting the books in alphabetical order. Okay, there's only one favourable outcome. And how many total outcomes? How many ways can I arrange those 5 books in the shelf? Well, if I put the first book, if I'm putting filling the first position, there's 5 possibilities, times 4, times 3, times 2, times 1. Now, like I said before, you can just leave the chain of multiplications if you want to. You don't have to multiply that out. But we'll do it. I'm going to do it really quickly. 5 times 4 is 20, times 3 is 60, times 2 is 120. So you have a 1 out of 120 chance of putting them in alphabetical order if you put them in at random. Okay, if I randomly shuffle the letters in the word math, what is the probability that there will be in alphabetical or reverse alphabetical order? Okay, so I'm going to say the probability of alphabetical or reverse alphabetical. So, if I put them in alphabetical order, I win. If I put them in reverse alphabetical order, I'll win. So there's 2 ways I can win. Okay, now, how many total ways of arranging those letters are there? Well, if we look, there's 5 letters in the word. So there's 5 possible ways of choosing the first position, 4 possible ways for the second, and 1. Okay, so that works out to be 2 over 120, which equals a 1 over 60 probability, a 1 in 60 chance of getting them in correct order, in alphabetical or reverse alphabetical order. Okay. So I have a 10-song playlist on shuffle. Okay, so it's shuffling. I'm just going to play the songs at random. I don't know what order they're going to come in. What is the probability that the songs will play in order from the longest to the shortest? So the probability of longest to shortest. Well, for us, we'll only win if the longest song plays first, the second longest song plays second. So there's only one order that's successful for us, the longest to the shortest. And how many possible orders could the songs come out in? Well, there's 10 possibilities for the first, 9 for the second, 8 for the third, and all the way down to 1. Okay, I'm not going to write that out, but what should go here? 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. That's the number of total orders there are, and only one of them would be successful for us. Alright? So, there are 24 students in the class. Each student has a 9-digit phone number beginning with 6. That might not be the case, don't worry if it's not. If I guess a random phone number, what is the probability that it will be the number of one of your classmates? So we're going to assume here that everybody has one phone. People might have 2 or 3, that doesn't matter. We're going to assume that there's one. So, I'm going to change that to black, sorry. So the probability of choosing a number, choosing a friend's mobile number, so I'm going to put N for that, okay? You can choose whatever letter you like, that's not important. So how many things could be successful for us? Well, if I manage to guess the phone number of one of my classmates, I win. So how many possible phone numbers are there that I could get? 24 phone numbers would give me success. Okay, there's 24 ways I could be successful. Now, how many total phone numbers are there? How many total phone numbers are possible where the first digit is 6? Okay, if there's 9 digits, well, it's going to be 1 for the first position. Now remember, I didn't say anything about things not being allowed to repeat. So it's 1 times 10 times 10 times 10. I'm going to continue times 10, and that's 8 times in total. Okay, so there should be 8 tens here. Okay, so it's 24 out of, I don't know, 100 million maybe? 24 out of 100 million possible is the probability of you guessing one of your friend's phone numbers. So here we have some practice problems again. Like I said before, I want you to write them into your notebook and then answer them. So first one, I have a group of 7 students. So I'm going to arrange them randomly into 7 seats. What is the probability that I will arrange them randomly from youngest to oldest? That word randomly doesn't really need to be there in this case. What is the probability I will arrange them in order from the youngest to oldest? So imagine I don't know who's the youngest, who's the oldest. 7 students. I'm going to choose somebody for the first seat, second seat, third seat, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. And then I'm going to tell me their ages or their dates of birth. And if I get from the youngest to the oldest, I win. What's the probability of that happening? I have 5 exams on my desk and I lay them on the table. What is the probability they will be in alphabetical order or in order from youngest to oldest? Sorry, oldest to youngest. So I'll win if I get them in alphabetical order, or I'll also win if they go in order from oldest to youngest. So you think, how many possible ways, how many possible outcomes would give me a victory, and how many total outcomes are there? And then the next one. So if I roll a dice twice, so just to clarify, I'm going to roll the dice once and I get a number, and then I roll the dice again and I get a number. What is the probability that I will roll a 2 first and then a 3? Or a 4 and a 6. Okay? So, have a look at those and see what you can make of them.